This is always my favorite part of the show when we get to talk about Best Fiends.
Yeah, same.
Our favorite game.
There's no better game.
It's free to download. Yep. Did you know? You don't even have to pay for it.
I'm aware.
And it's so
fun.
Yes. And I cannot put it down.
Same.
I'm obsessed.
I need to have my phone charging buddy next to me at all times when I play Best Fiends because I am going to drain my battery.
There's been over 100 million downloads. I think that says something about the popularity here.
Yeah, I think so.
Also, what I love about it is that you go through all these levels and they constantly are updating the game so that there's always new levels. So there's no like, I've seen it all. Like, no. You're not going to get that. You are going to be constantly thrown things that you've never seen before, and it's awesome.
And there's tons of fun puzzles to solve. Everyone knows I hate escape rooms.
Yes.
Because they're not fun puzzles to solve.
Yes, they are, but
Best Fiends has
I understand.
Fun puzzles to solve. And I love the way that they update it for every season. We have summer coming up. We have summer we're in right now. Yeah. And we are experiencing summer in the game as well. I love that part.
I love when it matches.
Me too.
Download the 5-star rated puzzle game Best Fiends free today on the App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends. Hello, welcome back to Shit They Don't Tell You. I'm Nikki Limo, and this is Steve Green.
And a.k.a. the Crypto King, a.k.a. Ace, a.k.a. Iceman.
Oh, we're doing titles today.
So that's what's up.
It's like Game of Thrones.
Nope.
Oh.
It's just my name, just all my various nicknames.
Well, that's what they do in Game of Thrones.
We can move on.
All right. Today we are answering some of your questions that you have submitted to us. Just a disclaimer, we are not experts, but you have solicited our advice foolishly, and we will answer them to the best of our knowledge, the height of our knowledge.
Yes. We are not experts, but I am an expert at cryptocurrencies.
Okay. That's fair. If you have a question that you would like to submit as well, you can email us at any time, podcast@nikki.limo. That's podcast@nikki.limo. And we may or may not read your question. You give us full rights, though, just in a legal way.
Facts.
Just so you know. We may or may not use your anonymous name.
Also, if you haven't had the chance, check out our Patreon. It helps out the show. It's what supports the show. And if you like the show, check out the Patreon.
Speaking of Patreon, we start with Patreon questions, and we have a few today. A couple people didn't even know that was one of the perks of their tiers until the last episode where we read Florian's question and talked about Patreon tier. Mm-hmm. All right, so we have actually 2 Patreon questions. I'm going to start with this one because it says Patreon question and compliments.
Oh,
we love those compliments. You know, we're fueled by them. Hey, Steve and Nikki, I put question in quotation marks because I lied, evil face.
Oh, no.
I have no question, only compliments. All right. This is all compliments. My name is Jan, but this is a Patreon, so... My name is Jan, but I prefer Jan Bear, cute face, and I'm 27 years old. I'll try my best to summarize everything, but I just have so many compliments, man. I want to thank you guys for getting me through my early 20s. I was severely depressed for most of the time, but watching the JK Party, rest in peace, episodes featuring you guys and your Tasty Tuesdays got me through it. Well, you didn't just get me through it. You've actually helped my life in so many ways, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it and how grateful I am to find your content. Here is a shortened list of cool things that happened thanks to you guys. 1, I beat my depression. I listened to your advice, got therapy, and on the right meds. And I also watched Tasty Tuesday when I needed to pick me up. Nikki, I think you're the coolest chick on this planet, and I relate so hard to just wanting to do a good job. And the Tasty Tuesday man is pretty cool, too. Aw, you're so sweet.
Compliments for the
That's
king.
awesome. Fuck yeah. Good for you. I'm so
That's
happy
so awesome.
that
Seriously.
you're in therapy and that you beat your depression. That's so rad. 2, I learned how to love myself. Shit They Don't Tell You is such an amazing podcast, and you guys give amazing and helpful advice. Through listening to your guys' own struggles with self-love and acceptance, I was able to build it in myself. That's so cool.
That's awesome.
I love this. 3, I met the man of my dreams. Watching the relationship dynamic between you guys showed me that I wanted what I wanted for myself. 2 people that bag hard on each other, but also love hard on each other as well. I think it was Steve that talked on the podcast about how you shouldn't settle because your perfect person does exist somewhere out there. After I watched the episode where, Nikki, you talked about how you wrote down that you wanted a guy like Steve, I sat down and I thought about what I really wanted in a man and in a relationship. And I did the same. And sure enough, I met him last year. year. It was that feeling that you guys talked about, that undeniable connection that you've never felt with anyone else. And he asked me to move in with him after like 4 months of dating. Oh my God, same.
Snap.
Yes. That feeling. LOL. Because we know, we both know this is something special. Not gonna lie, things haven't been easy, but he tries so hard, like even going with me to therapy when things got rough. Thank you so much for sharing your love story, because people need to know that real love exists and will come to you when you're open to it and when you know what your heart truly wants. Yeah. She said that things haven't been easy. And that's the thing, is that like, it doesn't mean once you find that person, everything's just smooth fucking sailing. Like you can, but this undeniable core of it is like the thing that makes you know that you can work through and solve whatever things you're going through with each other.
It's maybe one of the worst analogies I've ever thought of, but it's almost like when you're digging out a swimming pool and like, you get it all, like you got to get all the dirt, and you got to like smooth it out and shape it and form it into the pool that you want.
Yeah.
And then you can fill it with water.
That's a great analogy.
I think it's the worst analogy I've ever come up with.
And you have a sparkling swimming pool. You have to write sparkling in the description of the real estate. Yeah,
and you got to take care of it, right? You got to put chlorine in it. You got to have your filter on and all that stuff. But I think that the beginning part, when you're just getting the pool done, it sounds like by the way, me and Nikki are getting a pool done. We're not.
We aren't?
It's definitely not something on the tip of my head.
I thought that was my next surprise.
Maybe because you just refilled the jacuzzi, so that's in my head.
Yeah, true.
But really, it is like that where, you got to shape it, you got to form it, you got to get it right, you got to seal it, and once it's ready, then you can enjoy it.
Yeah, and then you have that sparkling pool forever, and it's so relaxing. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about getting infections because you take care of the water pH,
Anyways, I apologize for that analogy, but yeah, that's the basic idea behind it.
Please don't apologize.
You can delete that, Mark.
Can I own it? Can I take
Mark,
credit for it?
Mark, you can delete it.
Mark, delete it, and then I'm going to say it, and then I'll take credit for it.
That's fine.
It's like when you're digging out a swimming pool, and you have to like dig out all that gunk first, and then you pour the concrete in, and you have to maintain it, but like,
I just don't think it works. Smooth.
Anyways, thank you guys so much. I went from a lonely, depressed, bad bed potato to a happy lady with a stable job and an amazing boyfriend. Honestly, if I could do it, I think anyone can with the right help, support, and therapy. Thank you guys so much. I truly hope that if you guys don't read this on your podcast, that you'll at least read it to yourselves and know how thankful I am that amazing people like you guys exist. And I hope I can be as amazing with more work and therapy. Thank you for your time, and I hope you guys are well. And Steve, I hope you're drinking water.
I am right now. I'm drinking,
Actually,
drinking water from a thermos.
Well, that was so sweet. That was
amazing.
So nice. I actually, by the way, if this is your first time listening, I don't read the questions beforehand. I just start with the ones that have Patreon in the title, and then I just pick random ones. So I didn't know that was just going to be compliments, and that's really, really nice to hear. But it also is like the whole point of why we started anyway.
Yeah,
like
sure.
is to not because we're so amazing and so great, but like to say, hey, you're not alone. Like if you feel like a failure, like so do people, so do we, we've gone through similar things, and here's how we got through it, and maybe you can navigate your ship through the same way.
That's the thing that, I always, I wish more people knew that everybody doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
Like everybody's figuring life out as like one day at a time. Yeah. Nobody has all the answers, and all we can do is just try to be as honest as possible about that. For
everyone that thought they had the answers, what did they do when the pandemic hit?
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, there's so many things.
You could think that you know it all, and then something happens that you've never seen before, that's beyond your control, and you're like, oh shit, like I really didn't know it all. But for most of us, I feel like we don't know what the hell's going on.
No, but there's a beauty in that too, and embracing that and knowing that there's so much more to life than you even know. And but the honesty thing is very important.
Yeah.
I like that we're very honest about our lives. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what helped me whenever I was listening to people growing up. I always wanted people just to tell me how it was, and not this bullshit,
not the fake
veneer.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Because then I have realistic expectations,
right? Whether
they're higher or lower than what my expectations were, at least I can realistically go, that's what I want, it's attainable, and this is how they got it.
Exactly.
I loved looking up to people like that. So that's so cool to hear that come full circle.
And life is not a Disney movie. You know how everyone says that? Like all the time now, everyone says that now.
Everyone says that, yeah.
But you can make it pretty damn close. And insofar, and all I mean by that is you can find your one true person, all that kind of stuff.
I can have a tiger?
No, you cannot own tigers legally, but I wish that you could.
I like
There's all kinds of laws and asshole politicians who won't let you.
My favorite Disney movie is Aladdin.
Is it really?
She has a tiger.
You know what the tiger's name is?
Raja. Why wouldn't I know the name?
I don't know.
It's my favorite Disney movie.
Sorry, dude. Sorry.
Get out of here.
I thought his name was Roar. I really actually thought his name was Roar.
It's a her, first of all, and it's Raja.
Raja. I thought it was Roar.
Roar?
Yeah, I thought it was Roar the Lion. I really actually did.
It's a tiger, not a lion.
Oh, right. I thought it was Roar the Lion.
You're so insulting all the way around.
Damn.
Just go watch the movie again,
okay,
please.
I'm sorry.
If for nothing else, then for
I like
Robin
the monkey,
Williams.
though. He's my favorite.
Abu. Call him by his name. All right. Here's another Patreon question, and I think this one actually is a question. So, hello, call me anything but my name. Okay, Roar.
Hey, real quick.
Roar the lion.
How come the monkey didn't get to talk in that movie, but like literally every other animal gets to talk?
The tiger doesn't get to talk.
What are you talking about?
Only the parrot talks because
Didn't
parrots
Roar
talk.
Roar talked a lot. The parrot talked a hell of a lot. The parrot like monologued the whole movie, by the way.
Yeah, it was Gilbert Gottfried.
I just wish that we maybe got to hear from the monkey's point of view.
Well, the tiger didn't talk either, so.
I don't believe that that's true.
Okay, moving on.
Okay.
This is another Patreon question. So, hello, call me anything but my name. I was in the middle of calling her Roar.
We'll call her Roar the Lion.
or him. I don't know. Okay, I just assumed it was girl, but I don't know. First of all, thank you for everything. You guys are one of the little bits of happiness I get in this depressing world. Oh my God, that's so
bleak
bittersweet.
And
yeah,
nice.
It's very nice and also so sad. I'm so sorry. Okay, a little background that may be important. My boyfriend is Korean born and raised in Korea, which is quite conservative when it comes to sex. He told me before anything he knows about sex he learned through porn or experience. Seems to me the girls he's been with haven't been honest. Throughout time together, sex has not been the best. So I brought it up a few times, saying simple things like, I need foreplay, which he'll try, but by try, I mean stimulation for like 5 seconds, and then he thinks that's enough.
Wait, what?
He'll like stimulate her for like 5 seconds. And that's what he thinks. Like he'll touch a nipple.
Holy shit.
I've now brought up how sex is not pleasurable for me for a few times, maybe 4 or 5 times. And it still goes in a pattern of no foreplay, super little, none, repeat. I have a really hard time communicating sexually, and the last time I said something, he kind of was defeated. I don't know how to come about expressing my emotions about this. I'm a very sexual person, so this is a must change. One point in time, I was resentful about it. Now I have no emotion about it. I still like having sex with him, but I hate being left out of the pleasure all the time. Sorry if this doesn't make sense. I try really hard to word this, but I have a deficiency in writing skills, so it may sound like word vomit. LOL, much love, Roar the Lion.
This is the problem with porn, dude. Like they don't.
There's no foreplay.
There's no foreplay, right? It's just the chick getting jackhammer like in her face, basically, and then
and liking it as if that's giving her pleasure.
It's making her come.
Yeah, it's making her come.
Uncontrollably.
To sucking your dick is making her come.
If only.
Oh my God. Yeah, there's a lot wrong with porn and that being how you learn sex.
Oof. No, look, I mean, if your partner wants to connect with you, then that's something that you need to communicate, right? If they care.
Well, she says she's tried.
Well, like, that's what I mean. I think that, yeah, it sounds like that has happened and there's no movement. So
yeah, well, it sounds like she said he got kind of defeated when she brought it up. And I get that because there's a lot of pride with men and sex, which is silly because it's like, you have to learn somewhere, and each partner is going to be completely different. So your best bet is to learn, like to take every criticism or like critique or like suggestion with open arms because like you're a beginner every time.
You ever hear the game like one compliment and 2 truths?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where like you can come in maybe a little softer on it with like, hey, you know what I like that you do? And this. What I don't like.
I think it's
is
called a
these things.
compliment sandwich. It's you have it's actually 2 compliments and then this thing in the middle.
Boom.
Yeah.
Do the compliment sandwich.
Yeah. So you start with a compliment. Hey, I love your big dick. But I really have a hard time getting turned on if there's no foreplay. And what I mean by foreplay is I really like kissing, having my neck kiss, some touching all over for a good like 10 to 15 minutes, and then tell him exactly what you want. I don't know if this is what
You're
you
literally
want.
describing what you like right now.
Yeah, I'm describing what I like, but it's not, everyone has different things. Some people like getting choked a little bit. I don't. And then
I do though. I like her when she chokes me while I'm fucking
so
her.
it's really hard to get pleasure out of sex with you, even though I want to have sex with you, until we change these things. However, I love having sex with you.
Yeah, why not?
That's the end of the compliment.
Yeah, I mean, look, you need to draw a line in the sand, because obviously the communication has broken down.
Yeah.
So
You need to be very clear.
Yes.
And let him know how important it is to you.
Exactly.
That it's like, you're a sexual person, you said, and it's almost changing you. You're like, well, I used to feel emotions, but now I'm numb to it. Well, feeling numb is not good either when it comes to passion and romance and relationships. Like, you don't want to just be like, well, at least I'm not feeling bad anymore. You want it to be good. So, let him know that it's, really important to you. And you could even start with understanding where he's coming from with his conservative background and all this stuff. But just let him know, like, hey, we're in a sexual relationship now, and the sex is not good for me. So here's how to make it good. I don't want it to end. I don't want it to be not good. I want to change it.
Yeah, and if he, wants to man up and actually man up about it, and just like, because obviously he's being sensitive, but he wants to act like he's not being sensitive.
Yeah.
But to actually man up is to actually sit down and try to listen to your partner and try to come at their needs.
I think they're scared that they're going to try and then still not be good at it.
Well, that's a work in progress then.
Maybe it's not that, it's just them.
Hey, at least you don't have to live in a delusional fantasy land.
Exactly.
Where you think you're rocking this chick's world, and she's walking away like, fuck this.
Exactly. I 1000% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is way more manly to own that and to.
Yeah, don't be a complete bitch about it in the inverse way, where you're not willing to face the truth.
Yeah.
You want to hear the lie. Mm-hmm. That's not copacetic.
Yeah.
Just send him this clip. I think
yeah.
we'll take care of it.
Exactly.
But hopefully, actually, if he cares about you, he will try to fix this and put his own pride aside, because that's what he has to do, is swallow his own pride.
Right. Which is hard.
It's very hard.
Especially if he's been watching porn, he's like, well, I'm doing everything right.
I'm killing it.
Crushing it.
I'm smashing.
There's something wrong with you, because all of these girls like it.
They love it like this. Maybe he'll send you a clip in return. Yeah. He's like, check this girl out. She really likes this.
Okay, this next question is titled, My boyfriend took topless photos of another woman.
Is he a naked woman photographer? Maybe he's a
naked woman photographer.
Right? He's a penthouse photographer.
I have a friend that does boudoir, and I was actually like kind of curious about it.
The fuck's boudoir?
It is a guy. It's like, sexy picture, like black and white, like lingerie. It's more about the feeling of sexiness rather than like being pornographic about it.
Okay, I'm in.
Like where you're just kind of like, sultry.
I'm in.
And you're like, you have your butt in a thong or whatever, but it's like more about the sensual aspect of it, not the like explicit.
Stop trying to sell me on it. I'll never agree.
Okay. Well, my point being is that it's a dude photographer. And so I'm like, well, he's so used to doing this. Like, it's not like.
But your friend is this person?
Yeah.
I'll kill him.
He's great.
I'll kill him dead.
No. But yeah, I think he'd be great. And anyone's allowed on the set, but a lot of wives do it for their husbands. Like, we'll have take pictures of them for them.
Have his wife do it.
What?
Have his wife do it.
He's not married.
Get him married and have his wife do it.
Get him married.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the actual topic at hand. Okay, so here it goes. Hi, Nikki and Steve. I watch a lot of your videos, and you two seem like amazing people and very genuine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I feel like I need some unbiased opinions on my relationship and wanted to see what you guys think. I'm so sorry. This is an insanely long email. Are we ready for an insanely long email?
We're locked in. I got my water.
It does sound juicy. Okay. I've been having a war with myself about my current relationship. I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years and we are usually very happy, but he's very into social media, which has taken a toll. He takes nature photographs and he has about 11,000 followers on Instagram. When we met, he had about 4,000. I, on the other hand, don't invest much in social media and have well under 1,000 followers. I swear I have a point to all this. Okay, there was a time before he and I were official when he invited me on a trip with him and I couldn't go. So he said he was going to invite his quote unquote hiking buddy. I laughed at that and said something like, sure, your hiking buddy. That means some other girl, right? Well, it did mean that. And not just some other girl. This girl who is about 90 pounds and has huge beach ball fake tits, and they had been going out on hikes and shit for a while now. She had about 13,000 followers on Instagram, and that was when my boyfriend had 4,000. I only bring up the number of followers because I feel like another factor in him liking her was because she had a lot more followers than him, and he was trying to build his Instagram. I couldn't be crazy and tell him that him leaving with her made me feel weird because we weren't officially official. So after the trip, I stalked her IG. I know, I'm an idiot. No, this is a natural feeling to have.
Very, very normal.
And I saw pics of their trip together where she's facing away from his camera. She's completely topless and just in her thong, pretending to tie her hair up.
What?
This made me feel awful. I've had body image issues since I was like 12. And the fact that he was seeing her huge, perfect tits and her perfect skinny tone body, whether they even had sex or not, made me want to never talk to him again out of embarrassment of my own body. I don't think they fooled around because I don't think she was into him at all, but it still makes me feel like if it turns out she decided she did like him, that he'd drop me like a hot potato. I try to talk to him about it, but anytime I bring up social media or his attention to other girls, he tells me I'm being crazy and saying things that his alcoholic ex-wife, who also had huge fake tits, used to say. By the way, I obviously don't have fake boobs. I don't judge people who do, but my small saggy tits make me feel disgusting in my boyfriend's eyes because of all the fake tits around him. So because I was so crazy about Instagram in the beginning, I can't calmly bring it up now without triggering him immediately and it turns into a fight. He currently follows so many quote unquote nature people on Instagram because that's what he photographs. But really, they're just women who take butt photos or topless photos in front of a goddamn mountain. He likes all of their pics.
That's incredible. This guy found the greatest con in the world. Fucking nature people and bird watching. He's like, baby, it's bird watching, honey.
Okay. It's like some bitch in a thong on a mountain. It's like nature people.
That is funny as fuck. Nature my ass, dude.
I've told him how it makes me feel and how since I've gained about 25 pounds since I've met him and I'm in the worst shape of my life, it makes me feel like he's disappointed that I don't look like that. He compliments me all the time and says that he thinks I'm even more beautiful than the day he met me. But don't actions speak louder than words? I know it's just liking photos, but after our talk about how it makes me feel worthless, if he actually cared about me, wouldn't it just be easier to not double tap on a fucking naked photo? I don't even go stalking for it anymore. It just shows up in my discovery feed. And of course his name is in the likes every time because it shows like who liked the photo if like you're following them.
Good.
I've been trying to be more rational about all of that, which is making our relationship a lot more stable. But now in my head, I've started realizing that back when he would go out with his huge tit hiking buddy, he would take tons of candid shots of her, like that topless thong shot, and would tag her in everything that they did together. He sometimes posts stuff about us and tags me on his IG, so it's not like I'm a secret, but it dawned on me that he doesn't take many candids of me, and he certainly doesn't tag me in everything that we've done together. And it's not like he's trying to spend more time in the moment with me. He literally has his phone out the whole time. It's taking his nature pics, just none with me in them. I don't even really care about the pictures of myself, but it's making me feel like I'm not good enough or pretty enough for him to feel compelled to take my picture. I'm not exciting enough. I don't have enough followers for him to tag me in everything. He doesn't want to show me off because I'm not good enough or I was the quote unquote backup after it was clear that she wasn't into him. I'm being crazy, right? This is all just insecurity. I think I'm way too much and I'm worried I'll sabotage the relationship. I know that he loves me a lot now and wants to be with me, but all that just sits in the back of my head and occasionally bubbles up and makes me question our relationship altogether. It makes me wonder if he's an opportunist that will leave me when something better comes along. Any insight is appreciated.
Well, there's a couple of games here, unfortunately, right?
Yes.
Like in social media, the game is you take pictures with people and then they tag you, you tag them, you like their photos, you try to work the algorithm a little bit.
Even if you don't really like them.
It's a fact.
A lot of people don't like each other and they're in each other's pictures.
A lot. And a lot of people are liking each other's pictures and commenting on each other's shit, even though they hate each other.
They hate each other, yeah.
It's just a thing, unfortunately.
It really is. We've seen all of the dark side of it.
And so because he's in this space and he's trying to grow his shit, I can understand why he's liking everyone's shit. I can also completely understand your completely rational point of view. Yes, there's some security in there, of course. Right? You even talked about that. But you have a very rational point of view. Like, I don't go liking all my friends' bikini shots and all this shit. I think that's fucking weird. Mm-hmm. And I have a lot of friends who are women, but I don't go hang out with them at a restaurant or anything like that alone, just me and them. Yeah. And I'm not like liking all their fucking pictures of shit.
Plus, they don't have a crossover audience. Okay, so nature photography followers aren't the same audience that are following these girls.
Right.
So it doesn't really make sense for him to consider that a collaboration or a networking thing, in my mind.
In your mind. But however, it seems to be working for the nature topless people.
Yeah.
So which is fine. So
like,
it's all
I
well
think
and good.
that, okay, so maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see a lot of followers that the girl would tag him in, going over to his page and then following him.
No question.
But
he could be naive to that point.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Well, his Instagram has grown.
Yeah.
So, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should suck a dick.
You know what I'm saying? I think you should. I think I know exactly where you should. Yeah. So
this is the second question I brought up sucking dick, by the way.
See, this is how you work them into a mood. No, but that, so you got to consider that first, right? Just because there's a layer to this that maybe you didn't think about.
Yeah.
However, now that you have it all on the table, still doesn't make it cool if he's gonna be skeezing on chicks, is what you think.
Yeah, and I also feel like it's hard because you want to go by just logic alone, right? Because like there's no proof of any foul play or anything, or like, your boyfriend could reassure you, but I don't know, there's a balance between that and like your intuition and your gut instinct. Because for example, and I shared the story on Patreon for sure, but I found a pair of red underwear, a red thong, mind you.
That's a fact.
In our dryer.
Zoom in on me, Mark. Zoom in.
Well, your camera's off.
My camera's off.
Okay, in our dryer, we don't go do our clothes in the community laundry anymore, all right? No. And I didn't even think twice about it. I was like, these are my underwear, and I threw them away. And then later, I thought about, like maybe days later, I was like, oh, that's weird, because like any other boyfriend I've had, I would have been down their fucking throat about these red underwear because they did shady shit. Yeah. Like, I found shady shit. They did shady shit.
Just give me a little bit of it.
Even when I found like shady shit, like what you're talking about, where they're like, it's like, borderline, where they're liking people's photos, but I can't really get mad at them for that. I found more shit because there was like this gut feeling, this like deeper thing where they ended up cheating on me. So like, and I'm not saying he's going to cheat on you, and I'm not saying that this is the same thing, but I'm just saying that you have to like tune in and
trust your gut a little bit.
And like, don't act irrational, but like be aware and cautious if your gut is getting sinking feelings every time you bring it up or you guys have an argument, because I think it says a lot. Like I have zero trust. This is the first relationship, I'd say the first serious relationship where I have had zero trust issues. Zero.
Correct. Same.
He could go spend the night with 5 naked, beautiful women in a cabin, and I would have zero trust issues about that happening. I would question like why he would want to go to that. Right. And if he had a really good answer, then I'd be like, okay, it's fine.
We're doing a beach ball fake titty.
Beach ball fake titty, skinny.
Yep.
People, and same, I've had body issues, so I get how that could be a thing. One of the ex-boyfriends that shall not be named was like, he logged into his MySpace. This is how long ago I had fucking boyfriends. He logged into his MySpace from my computer, and he didn't log out. And so when I went to use my computer, it was logged in his profile. Brilliant. So, I had already been feeling weird things about him. He was like not returning phone calls or texts regularly. He was canceling on me last minute for things. So there was like suspicions, but nothing like I could bring up and like cause an argument over. So then I just wanted to see, and it's shitty. Like you shouldn't have these feelings. If you're having enough feelings to want to look through people's messages, then you shouldn't be with that person. That should tell you right away. But I wanted to know. And I went through his messages, and sure enough, there's some girl who looks exactly like me, but like the 20 times hotter version. Like she's younger, she's skinnier, she's got big boobs and a big butt, and she's beautiful. Like she looks like a freaking model. And he's messaging her. Can you send me a picture of this? I cannot. Okay. And he's messaging her and saying like all these times where his girlfriend's not going to be around. And he's like making himself sound super cool, talking about his roommates. He lived with his mom. Okay. Talking about how his roommate's not going to be home on whatever day. I'm like, what the fuck? Sick, right? Dude. And so like before when I would bring up certain things, he would always brush it off. But then I found that, and like, yeah, it did make me feel really insecure because I was like, why am I not enough? Why does he never message me like that? Or like, you know, talk about like wanting to hang out with me. He was trying to hang out with this girl and he was constantly like not wanting to hang out with me. So I get that. And I'm just saying, I don't want to tell you the wrong advice because part of me is like, hey, you know, this is all business. Like he's liking photos. It's a social game, you know? But then I don't know, you know?
Well, look, here's the thing. I just wanted to give all that information so that you can fully assess the situation, which I think is important to do. If there's something that makes you uncomfortable and you tell your dude about it and he can't take that off the table by not
that's the
all
thing.
over these chicks like on their pictures and stuff.
Like just don't like, why can't he not like naked photos of people?
For real. That's all. Like if that
hurt your feelings.
If I wanted to fill my office up with posters of like Pamela Anderson and Baywatch and shit, that'd be fucking weird.
Well, it wouldn't be weird unless I was like, hey, that makes me kind of uncomfortable, and then you still chose to put them up.
Exactly. That's
you
what
know,
I mean.
that's the weird part, because if it was like, oh yeah, he's like ironically a Pam Anderson fan or whatever, so it's like, it's funny. You've done shit like that before, like Bang Bus videos, you know, like that's nothing. But like if I was seriously like, hey, this really hurts my feelings, because I look nothing like her and it seems like you're actually very attracted to her. And then you still chose to keep them up. It's like a respect thing. It's like you're not compromising in the relationship on something that's really easy to compromise on.
And you know, and even if like, for example, and this is a perfect example, I remember I used to do this Christmas prank video every year. And I did it with this chick that we found from casting.
Right, yeah.
And I remember it was our first year together, and I had done it with her 2 years in a row. Mm-hmm. So I was booking her.
Well, you had done her 1 year previous.
Oh, right, 1 year previous. Mm-hmm. But I was booking her again because I'd actually done 3 videos with her.
Yeah, she was in the other prank videos that I didn't want to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
And every time that you didn't want to do one, it was perfect, right? Because I'm like, okay, well, she'll do it.
So she got that girl, yeah.
And so then you voiced... Like, why wouldn't you have me do the Christmas video with you?
Yeah, because I specifically didn't want to do this one prank where it's like a Santa shits herself thing. Like, I didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to do it. And
you didn't want to be portrayed as a woman who shits herself.
I just personally didn't find any joy from that. I also get really uncomfortable with pranks.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you can any prank video I've been in with him, I was really uncomfortable. I don't like people getting upset. And
but this is a great video.
Fine, yeah.
It's a great video. Classic.
It's fun. It's great. No, don't get me wrong. I am not against the video. I just didn't want to be in it. Like, I'm at arm's length from it. I can watch it from behind the screen, but I don't want to be the person. Yeah. I'm way too uncomfortable with it. I just don't think I could do it. And so I felt like you were kind of annoyed at me, and then because at that time, you kept telling me all the opportunity that I was missing out on that the video, and so you got her to do it, and everything was fine. And then the next video was the Christmas video, and you asked her instead of me, like directly, instead of asking me first, like the Santa poops herself video, you asked her directly. But the Christmas one I thought that would be fun,
right?
And so I would have done that one, and so you're like, oh, okay, well, sorry, I didn't know. And then the next year you asked her again. And that's when I was upset about it, because I had already expressed that I would have liked to be in that video.
Well, and I was maybe overcompensating for the fact that you told me that you don't like being in prank videos because it makes people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so I knew that video is one where we're definitely like fucking getting these kids pretty good.
Right. So I guess there's a difference in my head, because the one on the street is like random people on the street coming up to you. And it's also a thing where guys are hitting on me.
Yeah.
I don't like that. It makes me really uncomfortable when guys hit on me.
I know.
So it's different. So the other one, and it's sexual.
And I respect that. Yeah, totally.
But the Christmas one was not sexual. No guys are hitting on me. The kids are voluntarily coming to the thing. Their parents are voluntarily putting them there. Yeah. So it was completely different. But I get how your mind worked on that.
Yeah, I just was like, I won't ask her and put her in an uncomfortable, like, oh, I should do this for my boyfriend kind of thing.
Yeah, so I got kind of upset about it.
But then you told me about it.
And I started thinking like, maybe you just like her better.
Right.
In the videos.
Right. And that was not true. And so then, and I liked her too. She was great. She was always awesome.
Yeah.
name's Chandra. Really,
yeah, she's
really
great.
Lovely.
There was nothing
lovely
against her
person.
at all.
But yeah, but the point is that once you hit me with that knowledge, I was like, oh shit, okay, that makes sense.
The adjustments.
But we had to find that adjustment. And
But if you don't find the adjustment, if you continue doing the thing that hurts the person over and over and over again, like it sounds like your boyfriend's doing, then that's where you have a problem, because that's not fair. Like both people should feel very safe and comfortable and secure in their relationship. And both people should be doing everything they can to make their partner feel that way. And if there's something...
First and foremost.
Yeah, first and foremost.
That's the key.
You should be number one priority. And if you don't feel that way, then yeah, I don't think that it's great. I think that maybe he will leave you for a better opportunity, you know, if he's not willing to like actually make you a top priority.
Yeah, maybe that's a warning sign for you.
Yeah.
Right? But this is a complicated one.
It's complicated because I don't know him and I don't know his side or the background or anything. And it could just be, you know, like I have friends that spin everything. But it sounds like you're pretty you have a good
you're
grounding.
Making good points. Just make sure he understands where you're coming from. If you want to adjust, and if you can't deal with it anymore, I think that's kind of your
And
answer.
when you bring it up, just bring it up neutrally. Just don't try to be as unemotional as possible, and just stick to the facts of why
you feel this
what
way.
hurts you and whatnot. Yeah, exactly. And don't accuse anyone of anything. Just like bring up what has happened and why it hurt.
And what can we do about it?
And what we could do about it. Exactly.
So it's productive.
And on that note, we are going to take a break. But when we come back, more juicy questions, which you can submit to podcast@Nikki.Limo.
And yeah, you can also submit crypto questions anytime you want. The expert is here. The expert is waiting.
And to our ad. This is always my favorite part of the show, when we get to talk about Best Fiends.
Yeah, same.
Our favorite game.
There's no better game.
It's free to download.
Yep.
Did you know? You don't even have to pay for it.
I'm aware.
And it's so
fun.
yes. And I cannot put it down.
Insane.
I'm obsessed.
I need to have my phone charging buddy next to me at all times when I play Best Fiends, because I am going to drain my battery.
There's been over 100 million downloads. I think that says something about the popularity here.
Yeah, I think so.
Also, what I love about it is that you go through all these levels and they constantly are updating the game so that there's always new levels. So there's no like, I've seen it all. Like, no. You're not going to get that. You are going to be constantly thrown things that you've never seen before, and it's awesome.
And there's tons of fun puzzles to solve. Everyone knows I hate escape rooms.
Yes.
Because they're not fun puzzles to solve.
Yes, they are, but
Best Fiends has
I understand.
Fun puzzles to solve. And I love the way that they update it for every season. We have summer coming up. We have summer we're in right now.
Yeah.
And we are experiencing summer in the game as well. I love that part.
I love when it matches.
Me too.
It's like, it's fun. It's like, oh, they're living the same life as me.
Yeah.
And then also you collect new characters all the time to defeat slugs. And it's a whole thing.
There's something new every day.
You got to check it out.
If you haven't played Best Fiends, you don't know that there's something new every day, because there is.
Yes. Download the 5-star rated puzzle game Best Fiends free today on the App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R, Best Fiends. And we're back. So far, no calls for the Crypto King have come in yet. That's weird.
The expert is in.
Yeah.
And we're waiting for your calls.
Waiting for the calls.
Waiting for your calls and your messages as well.
Okay. Well, we'll keep waiting. But
what a great opportunity to have the expert finally on the show, and then we'll be waiting on standby.
You know, part of our Patreon does have a crypto corner where the expert is live like at least once a week.
It's not enough, It's just not enough.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting for the calls, we have another question. This one is called COVID Wedding. Please help before August. Well, luckily, I'm reading the questions
before
August. Hell yeah. Okay, we'll see if we can help, though. Hi, Nikki and Steve. Compliments. You guys are really awesome and hilarious, and I really look at the two of you as role models for a healthy, happy marriage. You guys literally crack me up all the time. That I have favorite episodes I listen to on repeat. Oh my God, that's awesome. I
thank
love
you
that.
so much.
I wonder what they are.
Yeah, for real. What are they?
I feel like it's like the Nick Cage episode.
Follow up. People love the Nick Cage episode.
Okay, so let's hop into it. I have a wedding/family/setting boundaries question. Ooh, juicy. I had my wedding planned for July 2020, right during the pandemic. So yeah, that messed things up. Marriage is very important to me. So my fiance, now husband, they got married already.
Wow.
And I decided to tie the knot with just our immediate family at our church and hold off on the big party with our friends and family until after the pandemic was over. Well, now we finally have a chance to have our party, and I'm so excited and happy. Here's the thing. When I was originally planning the wedding, it was literally the most stressful and disappointing experience ever. Oh my God, I can relate. I hate to sound dramatic or ungrateful, but I was completely overwhelmed by unwanted opinions, pressure, and expectations from others, especially my mom and close family members. And even on the day of our wedding, even though I was so happy to marry the guy of my dreams, I couldn't feel completely happy because certain people there were visibly upset about some of the choices we made.
What the fuck?
Oh, I hate that. It took a long time before I could look at our photos or hear about weddings without wanting to cry, since I felt so stressed and unsupported during my wedding planning. Oh God, if you've never planned a wedding, you can watch my videos about it, but it's honestly a living hell, especially if you're not one of those people that have like dreamed of a wedding all your life, you know?
Look, unless you got sizzlers to go, I don't think anyone has a right to bitch about anything.
Yeah.
But if you got those sizzlers to go,
yeah,
I
then
think,
you're set. You're all set. You have nothing to bitch about.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Now that I'm married, out of my family home, and been living the life with my husband, I feel so much more excited about planning our party. But there's family members who are trying to pressure me again to do things a certain way, or they're trying to downplay the importance of our day. Like, since we already got married by the church and it's been so long, over a year, it doesn't matter anymore. What the
hell are they talking about? What doesn't matter?
Because they're not celebrating the actual day of them getting married.
Nobody wants to go to a party?
Exactly. But I've heard of this happening though. Although I think there could be some adjustments for a COVID, like a pandemic. I mean, I think that's excusable, but usually when people say they're going to do a party later, literally no one cares.
But hasn't everybody not gone to parties for like 2 years and everyone can't wait to go to parties?
That's what I'm saying. This is where I would make an exception.
What the hell are people talking about?
That like it was a pandemic, there was certain criteria that's different than the norm.
Look, my little brother got married in a courthouse, and he basically shotgun wedding that shit. I mean, they weren't like pregnant or anything, but he was going in the military, and she's like, "Yo, marry my ass."
Yeah.
And so he goes and he gets married, right?
And he went to Claim Jumper.
He went to Claim Jumpers afterwards, and he told me, this is like 6 years ago now, but he's like, "Yeah, man, I don't know, this is more."
It was like 9 years ago.
Holy shit! But he's like, "Yeah, like we'll do a party later, like later on."
Then usually it never happens.
Never happens.
Usually when they get married privately and they go, "Oh yeah, we'll do a party later with friends," it never
fucking happens. But if he hit me up with an invitation tomorrow, he's like, "Yo, we're doing this shit," I would be stoked.
I would be stoked, but I understand the like. You got married. I'm used to you guys being married for 9 years now, so it's kind of harder to be like, "Yay, I wish you well in your marriage."
No way. I'm buying him a blender.
But I would make an exception for COVID because literally no one got to see you become a married couple except for your immediate family. Like you didn't have a choice.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's different. Okay, so what are some tips you have 4 years after your wedding on how to ignore unwanted opinions? Oh, wait, it's been 4 years? No. 4 years after our wedding. Oh, got it. Okay. What are some tips you have 4 years after your wedding on how to ignore unwanted opinions and to help keep that day special, even if it's just special to me and my husband? I'd love to hear your advice. This is a great question because I really did have to have a little pep talk to myself before the wedding started that I wasn't gonna.
'Cause you're having cold feet.
Yeah, I was like, you can do this. He's good. No, he's a good guy. No, he's a really good guy.
And I'm picking my nose. Cut to me picking my nose. Picking my butt crack.
No, because my mom wasn't crazy, but there were some other people that I was just worried about. And I invited YouTubers and some of them had drama, and I tried to like separate the drama, but that caused more drama because like some of the people that weren't invited, because I invited people they had drama with, so I could only pick one of the two because I didn't want a bunch of drama.
Factions.
Yeah, they got mad later that they weren't invited. You know, it was
they should have been more popular then. They should have been more popular.
Yeah, we only invited really very popular people.
We looked at your sub count.
No. Yeah, and then it grew our Instagrams, just like the nature photographer.
Oh yeah.
So no, but I had a conversation with myself, basically like, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks. This day is meant to be fun and to celebrate love. And when I see Steve's face, that's all I'm going to think about. Like, I just decided beforehand. I think you just have to make a decision beforehand that when you see your husband's face, no one's allowed to enter this realm. Anyone's shitty opinion. You just go, "Oh yeah," and then you just continue.
Yeah.
Like why didn't you get? I told you to get blue balloons. Why did you get red balloons? Oh yeah, I like blue.
Yeah, right.
It really doesn't matter what their opinion is. You just go, oh yeah, I thought about it, but then I did the other thing.
Yeah. And it's up to you.
Yeah. And just like, hey, the music's really good, huh?
Dude, we had a fucking ice sculptor, dude. We had it all going on.
We had a whole open bar.
A banger event.
It was great. We had 5 signature drinks.
We had a sword swallower.
We didn't have a sword swallower.
We had fire eaters.
Yeah, I barely did anything though. Like as far as weddings go, I had no idea how to plan one. I had no idea what was even involved. My wedding was the first wedding I'd ever been to, and I was a bride. And so I had no expectations. I think that's what's hard for people is that there's expectations. What's so funny?
I'm just picturing some guy gagging on a sword in the middle of our wedding and everyone being like, what the fuck is this? Sorry.
Well, I did have one of the bridesmaids on the floor giving a speech.
That was classic.
She was very drunk.
A classic
and she
moment.
Couldn't stand any longer. So 2 sentences into her speech, she just squatted on the floor and gave the rest of her speech.
It was like...
and she couldn't find her place. She kept missing her place and she kept having to go back.
It was like that moment in the movie Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr. where he just comes back from Afghanistan and he's like, hey, let's take it down. And then he sits on the ground, but with no charisma. Imagine that scene, but with no charisma.
That was a very niche reference.
Oh, I think it's a very popular film, actually. It kickstarted the entire MCU, I'll have you know.
That scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very famous scene.
But yeah, you just have to remember that it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. What's the most important thing to you is the love and the celebrating the party. And anyone that's going to complain about that maybe just doesn't like to have a party. Maybe they have their own things going on because people tend to project their own insecurities onto people. Like they'll judge something because they didn't throw the right thing at their wedding or whatever. And they wish they could make it up. And then they wish that you did it to make it up for them not doing it.
Yeah.
You know? And it's not your responsibility. Like you are not responsible for other people's opinions and emotions.
Or their ego.
At your party, at your wedding. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
There you go.
Hope that helped. But seriously, I'm so happy that you have found love and that you're with that's the best thing. Is that you're with an awesome partner.
I got a buddy who's not going to do it.
Not going to do what?
Not going to do like a banger wedding.
Why? Oh, who cares?
No. It's just a disappointment. I want to go to another banger wedding.
Oh, because you want to go to the wedding.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's tight when other people are paying for a banger wedding.
I fucking love it.
Yeah. That's the other thing is weddings are expensive. I had no idea because, again, never had been to one. And I thought that like $10,000 was extreme, but it was actually considered an ultra low budget wedding. And I was like, wow, that's crazy that people spend that much on like a party. That's kind of insane to me. But you know, what if it's something that you've been dreaming of? Cool. I think you're doing it right though. So here's another question. What should I do about my friend? I don't know. What's up with your friend? Hi, Nikki. My name is Natalie with 2 E's. Just in case anyone was thinking she wanted to stay anonymous. No, she's going to tell you exactly how to spell her name.
Wait, what the fuck? How do you do 2 E's in Natalie?
Like that. Natalie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen that.
No
before.
I's.
Never seen that.
Natalie.
Truly unique.
I've been knowing you through YouTube since I was young. I don't remember how or when, but it's pretty cool you're still here. I am still here.
Hanging on. Hanging on. Join the Patreon.
I just wanted to say I've been listening to your podcast since last year and that I like you and Steve. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I made a draft of this a long time ago because I felt like, I don't know, I'm wasting your time to not write about an issue I have. And I'm desperate now to ask for help from a good person from what I've seen on JK from you. So here I go. I have a friend. She's Nigerian. I include that because we're all just so different and have different backgrounds and cultures and beliefs and all that. And, you know, being from a different country than others makes us do and believe in other stuff that other countries do not coincide with. So our friendship grew closer in our junior or senior year of high school. And we have that we are both Christ's believers, family oriented, and I don't know, girl shit in common. And, you know, because of COVID, like what's happened to millions of people around the world, she, from what she tells me and how I feel and see and know, she's dug herself a huge, deep, big, lonely hole. I mean, hell, I'm trying to deal with loneliness and keeping hope and patience, but this is about her, not me. I'm sure I'm not sure if she struggles with sleep now. I've purposely stopped talking to her as often as I did because I wanted to see how long it would take her to message me or call me. I sometimes do that to test a person, a woman thing, or maybe just a me thing, but I can't recall her calling or texting me last time I did that, I think. Her sleeping is shit. She told me she goes to sleep at 4, 8, or fucking 1 p.m. in the day. It stresses me out that I have a friend that's not getting fucking sleep. I've been worried for her when she told me this since last year. She never goes out except Sunday church, and I've just become the friend who feels pity for her, and I've been thinking for a long while to cut it off with her because I shouldn't feel pity for a friend, at least not in this way. I've tried and I've gotten on to her and tell her that she needs to get her shit together for a long time now, has she? No. I mean, fuck, I haven't really talked to her because I don't know, I'm trying to be better myself after a 4-month relationship I had. I'm reading You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. That's a great book. That famous yellow self-help book. And the chapter that stood out the most to me so far is the one where we are all mirrors of each other. I've always had trouble standing up for myself. She's also spoke of that. And I guess my question is, should I sit down and talk to her and give her tough love? I would offer taking her out and taking her where I go. I mean, she lives 25 minutes away from me, as long as she picks up the bill sometime, or do I just not take this friendship too seriously? I had a quote unquote best friend in high school and I ended things off with her, or maybe she with me, I don't know, because she never came to me. I told myself that I wouldn't end a friendship again for that same reason, because I believed what my mom told me, and that was that I took that relationship as a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. But I asked my sister about it, and she said I didn't. And of course, the reason I would be afraid of giving her tough love is because I'm afraid of being a friendless 18-year-old. I only have her and Alyssa, but I also blocked her too because none of them reaches out to me first. If you find this a read on the podcast, I'd be happy you got to the end. Big fan, and I wish y'all the best. God bless y'all. Okay, wow. Clearly,
I don't know what the problem is.
Okay, she's very 18.
Got a depressed friend.
Yeah, well, she's taking it personally.
Right, but it's weird.
Well, it's weird because we're grown and she's still young.
Right.
So you're very young and maybe haven't dealt with a lot of people, and it's not really that she's from a different country. It's that she has depression, and
you're taking responsibility for her shit, and you don't need to.
And it's not your responsibility.
No.
I also don't think that telling her off or telling her to get her shit together is going to help. That's not,
God, no.
Definitely not going to help. What she needs, and if you truly want to keep this person as a friend, and by the way, you're welcome to cut it off if that's just something that you can't handle in your life, and you're just like, hey, I just need friends that are positive energy, and I'm just not, it's just, this relationship doesn't mean that much to me. Then for sure, cut it off. But let her know that, like, hey, like, I value you as a person, and if you need me, I'm here. But like, if you want to be a true friend, just let them know that you're there for support. Like that.
That's it.
That if they, check in on them from time to time, but that like, hey, like, I'm here if you need me.
Be a sounding board if they need that. Don't be Dr. Phil.
And I don't think you should need to test your friends too. Like you mentioned this test where it's like, I'll test them to see if they message me first. I don't really think you need that. If it's a true friendship, you don't care. Like
it's whatever.
If it's a true friendship, you feel supported, they feel supportive. There's lots of trust there, and it doesn't matter who. I don't really keep tabs on who messages who first in my friendships because they're just there. They exist, and I know that at any time I could call any one of my friends and they'll pick up the phone or they'll call me back later. And that's all you should have. Like, I think maybe you have too high of expectations of people, and maybe they don't know that, and maybe they don't know that that's what you need in a friendship, that you need people to reach out to you.
But I think, like she said, sometimes she treats friendships like they're a significant other, and I don't think that. I think she puts way too much pressure on a friendship.
Too much weight, yeah.
Way too much weight on it.
Yeah.
It's unnecessitato, as they say.
People are going through different things in their lives all the time. Like, they're going through different waves. I mean, you said yourself you're getting through a relationship, and so we all deal with those things in different ways. We have different coping mechanisms. And for you, it's like, oh, you want to reach out to people and hang out with them. And for her, it may be just like she needs a lot of alone time. Or maybe she needs a therapist. Maybe she needs some more help than that.
We got friends who are complete fucking shut-ins.
Totally.
And if we were just to go have an intervention with them about their lifestyle, that'd be super awkward and weird and wrong of us.
I also have gamer friends that go to bed at 1 p.m. and they make tons of money because that's their schedule. You know, it can seem lazy to other people because maybe other people
know
wake
the
up.
inner workings.
Yeah, you don't know like what their schedule is like and their structure is like. But yeah, I mean,
She could be writing the next great American novel for all we know.
It's okay to be worried about your friend, but it worries me when you get you turn the worry into anger.
Or resentment.
Yeah, or resentment, because that's not really fair to your friend. So if you do have a sit down confrontation, like you were talking about, because you said that you never stand up for yourself, I wouldn't really come at it as you standing up for yourself, but rather just having a conversation, like, hey, what's up? You know, like, what's going on in your life? You know, I feel like we were friends, we were really close, and then now we're not that close. And what's up?
Yeah, don't make it an unhealthy friendship.
Yeah, you don't need to lecture her or anything, or tell her that she needs to do X, Y, Z. Like, just it's a mutual thing. It's like
maybe she's felt pressure from you in the past, and she's distancing herself too. Like, you just don't know.
That's true. That could happen.
That's, you know, you have to also think maybe I'm contributing to this problem sometimes, and not just like, what's up with my friend? Weird.
Yeah. And this isn't to come down on you. I think that a lot of us, we all go through learning curves of relationships and friendships and people. And
dude, there's so much to navigate. Nobody really knows what the hell's going on. That's what we were talking about earlier in the show. But that's the whole thing. But your best shot is communication and understanding. Trying to understand where the other person's coming from. Exactly. And putting yourself in their shoes a little bit.
And then also understanding what your needs are. And if they don't match, if you have needs and they're not meeting them, or they have needs and you're not meeting them, then it maybe it's not the best fit. And that's okay. It's okay to not have the best fit. Then you know, like, okay, well, that's as far as that relationship's going to go.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen. God bless you.
But I do know one thing. In Nigeria, they do hang out inside all day.
Oh.
So there you go.
So it's a cultural thing.
It's a cultural thing.
He's fucking with you guys if you're listening and you don't understand. Okay, do we have time for one more question?
I think we do.
We have time for one more question. Okay, this one's titled My Brother's Keeper. Compliments first. You guys are the needs. Wait, the knees. I think it should have been bee's knees, but it got auto-corrected.
Oh.
So
Mobile does that.
You guys are the bee's knees, legs, and his elbows. Eminem reference. Okay. Now for definitely wasn't knees then. Okay, now for the tricky question. My older brother has been living with my wife, 2 kids, and I for about 6 months, and living with my dad for about 2 years before that. He went through a divorce and then a house fire that had him on a ventilator for a few weeks, and he's been very depressed since. My dad and I have been trying to do everything we can to help him get back up, and he will not seek counseling of any kind. I'm very close to him and I want to see him better, but he's kind of wearing out his welcome because he just bums around the house like Eeyore all day, and I know as soon as he gets out on his own, he's going to get back into heavy drinking again. He's 36 and most of his young adult life, he lived in his ex-in-law's basement and never worked. Now he thinks it's, quote, too late for him to be anything, so why try, unquote.
Holy shit.
Ooh, you have an uncle like that.
I have a couple uncles
much
like that.
older. But yeah, what do you say to that?
Well, if he's staying in your place, El Fribo.
Yep.
What you got to do is make therapy contingent on him remaining
Ground
at your place.
rules. Yep.
You have to have boundaries and you have to have rules, because otherwise they will become like a teenager that just doesn't give a shit.
And he has an addict personality. If he was an alcoholic, then he still has those tendencies of where you're enabling him to not ever do anything, to not go to therapy, to not get a job, to not do anything by not setting those ground rules.
You're handing it all to him.
By giving him money or giving him everything for free. And I understand, like, this is kind of hard to be like, yo, you got a divorce and a house fire and you're on a ventilator and now you got to do what I say. But
that's not why, though. It's the second part.
Why.
The second part's why.
Yeah.
The cause sucks, and I feel horrible for the guy.
Totally.
But the reality, the second part, the way that he's dealing with it is the part that I have a problem with.
Right.
So he's not dealing with it at all. He doesn't want to deal with it. Doesn't want to face it. Doesn't want to look at it. Wants it to just go away. Wants to drink it away. Because of that, and because he's staying in my house, he has to go to therapy. That's number one rule now. That's coming in tonight. Okay? You have to go to therapy. Absolutely must.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll figure out I don't know how he's going to pay for it. We'll figure out how to pay for it. There are places you can go to.
Yeah.
Rule number 2 is we are going to try to get you doing something productive. with your life.
Even if it's just little things.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
But
just
he's cleaning up
a routine
after himself. He's like helping out around the house. Like all the things that I think are steady foundations to making someone feel self-worth again.
Contributing.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that you're worried that like, okay, well, what if he doesn't and then he leaves and then he just becomes an alcoholic and then you'll feel like some sort of guilt or responsibility for that. But that's not on you.
That's on him.
Yeah.
And if he's already got that demon anyway, then that's extra pressure on yourself if you think that you're going to, push him towards it.
Exactly. You're giving the most that you can and that's all you can do. And in return, you just have ground rules. And that's it. And it's not ground rules to control him. It's ground rules to help him.
And by the way, he should be thanking you just about every day.
Absolutely.
Just about every single day, making you feel real special about, the help that you're giving him. And obviously he's not doing that as well. So it's just there's like a lack of gratitude. There's a lack of self-responsibility, lack of respect. And the only way you get him on the path is to get him help. Yeah,
because continuing on this path is just him going into old age feeling like he's dependent on everybody.
I missed my shot.
Yeah. Like 36 is still young. Like he has not missed his shot. So many people don't even start their careers till 40. Like there's so many stories of people who are uber successful that didn't even start till 40.
Dude, the NFL draft was last month, right?
Yeah.
Or 2 months ago now, but there's people who worked their entire lives to get on a National Football League team and they didn't get the call. And now this is the phase of life where they basically have to figure out what they're going to do with themselves.
Yeah, you can't not do anything.
It was all in on football, and now they don't have that, and they have to find another path. And that's just life sometimes.
There's a lot of life to live. Like, you think, oh, shit, I'm so old. I haven't done anything yet. But, like, you're 36. Average life expectancy for you is 70-something, maybe 80-something now. That's 50
76.
more years. You got 50 more years. That's a lot of life. You're just going to twiddle your thumbs for 50 years? Like you got to get that in his head. Like there's a lot more life and you're going to figure out what to do with it because you can't just sit here the entire 50 years.
Exactly. And there's, he'll hopefully getting him therapy will be the start of the ignition for him getting the help that he needs. I mean, you have a brother who was in a similar situation. Yes. Like it seemed pretty bleak, pretty dire, and he turned his whole fucking life around.
Yeah.
So I just think that there is hope out there. There are people who do it every day.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And he's so happy now that happened.
It's night and day.
And I don't know if he would have turned his life around if like people didn't confront him and stop enabling,
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, good luck to you. I know it's a really hard conversation to have. I do not envy you, but it's a necessary conversation. So
you got to get your life back too.
Yeah.
That's all. And doing this the right way, I think will help, and you'll feel good about it afterward. You really will.
Mm-hmm. But you're not responsible for the outcome. No.
If he wants to storm out into the night and go party or whatever, that's not in your control. You're just trying to stick up for yourself. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And really just trying to stick up for him. And that's all.
But again, we are not experts. So Everybody that submitted questions, thank you so much for submitting your questions. If you have a question, again, you can submit it to podcast@nikki.limo.
And once again, I am indeed a cryptocurrency expert. You are welcome to, you want to maybe refresh the email real quick, see if we got anything?
Yeah, sure.
Because we have an expert finally, like an expert standing by.
So no
questions.
Nothing? New emails. Yeah,
okay.
No.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's full internet, full service.
All the bars.
Yeah, all the bars are there.
Wow, a powerful statement. Okay. Wow.
So maybe they're just
There's a delay.
Maybe they put Nikki.lime.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah. A lot of people probably did that.
Silly people. Come on.
Get it right, guys. Get it right.
Boy.
So we could answer all the crypto questions.
You guys wasted my time today. It's fine.
Silly people out there.
It's completely fine.
I hope that helps some people out there. And thank you so much for the compliments. That's so sweet of you. We'd say it in jest though, like we like compliments, but like you guys actually like follow through with that. And that's like amazing. So thank you for those. That's sweet. And then if you want to subscribe, you can do that. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.